Today, we are diving into a huge, and I mean huge, idea. It's something you've probably heard a million times, but maybe kind of rolled your eyes at, the claim that your subconscious mind can literally change your reality. Yeah, it sounds like straight up magic, right? Well, we're going to use John Kehoe's book, The Subconscious Mind Can Do Anything, as our guide to really investigate if there's any truth behind this massive claim.
So let's just cut right to it. Here's the big question. Can your thoughts, the ones you have every single day, actually physically change things in your life? Your career, your confidence, how you interact with people? Or is this all just, wishful thinking? All right, to get to the bottom of this, we're going to try something a little different. I'm going to be coming at this from two angles. First, I'll be the expert, breaking down the theory and the how-to from the book. But then, I'm going to put on my other hat, the skeptic. And trust me, that was me 100% before I decided to really put this to the test with my own 2-week experiment. We're going to see what the book says and then what actually happened.
Okay, expert hat is on. So the core idea here is that your thoughts aren't just these little quiet things that happen in your head. They have energy. And if you have a consistent, focused stream of that energy, well, it's kind of like a river carving its way through rock. Over time, it can actually shape the world around you. So how do you direct that river? Well, you've got to have the right tools.
Tool number 1 is visualization. And let's be clear, this is not just daydreaming about winning the lottery. Nope. This is an active, focused mental practice. You create this detailed movie in your head where you see yourself already having achieved your goal. And this isn't some new age fad. This is a technique that's been studied in sports psychology for years. I mean, top-tier athletes, from gymnasts to Arnold Schwarzenegger picturing himself winning Mr. Universe long before he did, they all use this to get their minds and bodies ready for a win.
So how do you actually do it? Well, it's a pretty simple 4-step process. And these are the exact steps our skeptic followed. First, you have to know exactly what you want, no fuzzy goals. Second, find a quiet spot, take a few deep breaths, and just relax. You can't force this stuff. Third, for just 5 or 10 minutes, you really dive into that mental movie. Feel it, see it, live it. And finally, and this is the part everyone messes up, you do it every single day. You don't push, you don't check every 5 minutes to see if it's working, you just do the work.
All right, let's look at the next tool, affirmations. If visualization is the movie, think of affirmations as the soundtrack playing on a loop. They're these short, powerful, positive statements that you repeat over and over. It's not that different from prayers or mantras, which people have been using for centuries. The whole point is to consciously write new code, to overwrite all that old negative junk that's been running on autopilot in the back of your mind.
But here's the thing, and this is so important. The way you say it matters a lot. If you say, I am not worried, your brain kind of just hears worried. It latches on to that main idea and often just skips right over the not. So instead, you have to state what you want to be. So I am not worried becomes I am calm, confident, and prepared. See the difference? You're giving your mind a clear, positive target to aim for. Okay, time to switch hats. Hello, I'm the skeptic. And after learning all that theory, I have to be honest, it all felt a little silly. Talking to myself, making movies in my head. But I promised myself I'd give it a real shot. So I committed. For 14 days, I was going to do the visualizations and the affirmations every single day, no matter how weird it felt.
And my journey, it was a bit of a roller coaster. The first day, I'm sitting there whispering, I am successful, and I just felt absolutely ridiculous. Then on day 3, I completely forgot to do it and almost just threw in the towel. The pull of my old habits was so strong. But around day 8, something interesting happened. I caught myself. I actually noticed a negative thought spiral as it was happening. And then around day 12, I felt it, a real shift. This was the moment for me, my aha moment. I was in one of those tense work conversations, the kind, where my usual response would be to get defensive, maybe a little heated, but not this time. I was calm. I just explained my point of view clearly and without emotion. I didn't react, I responded. It was a small thing, but it was so real. It was proof that what I was doing on the inside was starting to show up on the outside.
And it wasn't just that one argument. By the time the 2 weeks were up, I could feel this overall change. Little things that used to annoy me just kind of rolled off my back. I was walking into tough meetings feeling capable instead of filled with dread. It wasn't like a lightning bolt from the sky or anything, but it was this subtle, steady shift in how I felt day to day. The skeptic was, starting to get convinced.
So let's bring the expert and the skeptic into the same room.
The little experiment proved that something was happening, but the real question is why? What is actually going on here? What's the secret sauce that turns a few minutes of focused thought into actual real-world change?
So, is this some kind of mystical, universal law? Or is it something a bit more grounded? Is it magic, or is it just psychology? Well, it turns out the answer is pretty clear. This isn't really about magic at all. It's about the way our brains are wired.
The book gives this perfect analogy. Think of your subconscious mind like a patch of really fertile soil. It has no opinion. It doesn't judge. It'll grow absolutely anything you plant in it. So if you're constantly planting seeds of doubt and fear and I can't, guess what kind of garden you're going to get. But if you consciously, deliberately, start planting seeds of confidence, of success, of positivity, it'll grow those just as easily. It doesn't care what the seed is, it just grows.
And that right there explains why my journey as the skeptic was so bumpy at first, and it's why most people quit this stuff after a few days. We expect a miracle overnight, we feel silly doing it, just like I did. Deep down, we don't really believe it can work. And let's face it, our old negative thought patterns are not just thoughts, they're habits, and breaking habits is hard work.
So what's the secret? It's not about how hard you try in one sitting, it's all about consistency. Changing your mind isn't like a weekend workshop, it's a daily practice. A few focused minutes every single day does way more to build new neural pathways than one marathon session on a Sunday. Really, consistency is the whole game.
So now, we want to hand this over to you. We want you to run your own experiment. Based on what the expert explained and what the skeptic experienced, we're going to up the ante. Forget 14 days. We're laying out a simple 30-day challenge for you to try this for yourself and just see what happens.
And look how simple this is. In the morning, for just 2 to 5 minutes, before you even look at your phone, you set a positive intention for the day with your affirmations. During the day, your only job is to be aware. Just notice your thoughts. When the negative self-talk pops up, just gently nudge it in a better direction. And at night, another 5 minutes to do your visualization, really feeling it, and then take a second to think of one small thing that went right that day. That's it. It's easy, it's sustainable, and it is so powerful. So, we'll leave you with this question. It's not for me to answer. It's for you. If, for the next 30 days, you consciously chose the thoughts you planted in your mind, what might change for you? What kind of person will you be on the other side? There's really only one way to find out.